Thank you for staying with us. Time now for Kakaaki Socials, getting to know what netizens are saying concerning the very serious issues going on in the Nigerian nation. And of course, Rena Obozeghie is joining us right now. Morning, Rena.
Good morning.
How are you today? How was your weekend?
It was great. How was yours?
Oh, quiet.
You look good in your colors.
Oh, and you look sweet as well.
Thank you.
All right, so let's leave the floor for you now. Let's know what's trending.
Thank you. All right, everyone, good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Rena Obozeghie. Welcome to a new week. Hope you had a good time resting if you did. Now, the River State Governor, Sim Fubara, and the President of the Senate, Akpabio, were in a war of words, maybe unintended, on Saturday at the burial of the late Access Bank Chief Executive Officer, Herbert Wigwe, his wife, and son. It happened when Akpabio begged to differ with Fubara's earlier statement that questioned why killings is a thing in Nigeria politics when death will eventually happen to all. While it was Akpabio's turn to speak, he advised Fubara to quit his political career if he thinks it is not worth fighting for.
He lived an impactful life. He has made a great contribution to humanity. And that takes me to the next question. And this one has to do with our political class. What is all this struggle all about? You want to kill, you want to bury. What is it all about?
What is the struggle all about? I will answer you. The struggle, we are not talking politics. Then don't wait for impeachment. Just resign since there is nothing in it. So, Your Excellency, Governor Fubara, if there is nothing in the struggle, don't struggle.
All right, let's have your thoughts. This user is coming first at Tedo Peter's side, who says, for the record, I was among those who found the Senate President's comment at the Wigwe family funeral in Port Harcourt to be in poor taste. He began by lamenting that Peter Obi received greater applause than he, that's Akpabio now, got, and later told us to join him in consoling the widow who was lying in one of the 3 caskets in front of him. Jokes, political jibes at a solemn combined funeral, methinks that was self-centered and totally insensitive. He says he was an eyewitness. Then for K, he says, Sheikh Ganduje's son was recently appointed by the president. El-Rufai's son is in legislature. What of Abacha relative? The list goes on. There is always something beneficial. Today, Buhari grandchildren generation to come will never be poor. Fubara needed a motivation. So that's one on both sides. And then this user says, the nonsense Sim Fubara and Senator Akpabio displayed today at the burial of the Wigways just shows how selfish and immature Nigerian politicians can be. A family is mourning the death of their son, his wife and child, but you turn the whole thing into a political battle. I mean, that could pass for the height of insensitivity. Looking at what has happened, even if someone had died at old age, maybe that wouldn't have even worked. But we'll move away from that to say that the wife of Nigeria's President Remi Tinubu is asking state governors to rise up to insecurity in their states, while lawmakers consider legislations as capital punishment on abductors in the country. Senator Tinubu believes the law would curb the spate of insecurity across Nigeria.
Whoever is kidnapping young people is sick, cruel, and a coward. Yes. Enough is enough. And I call on the state governments that once we take hold of them, we deserve capital punishment. Why don't they take people their size? Why are they torturing our children? What they are doing is trying to kill our future. Any one of them captured deserve capital punishment. Yes. I say it, and I believe most mothers would believe that. Yes. We carry them for 9 months. When you are giving back, you don't know whether you are going to live or die. Yes. And you don't watch what you love being snuffed away. Yes. So they are animals, they are evil, and then we should take them out among camels, wherever they come from. And the state governors should do something, and the lawmakers, especially the lawmakers of.
All right, let's see some thought here. At Ajagun Shegun, it says capital punishment shouldn't be limited to kidnappers alone. Certificate forgers, oath lies, public fund looters, and any Nigerians in diaspora committing crimes that damage the country's reputation should also be included. Train jabs there. Koi Koi says they are shifting their responsibilities now to the governors, never taking accountability for anything. Remind me again, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? Also in this, Okoli says the criminals should face the law. It's wrong for the First Lady to decide on how the suspected terrorists should be punished. And final thoughts from Timothy, he says at least Remi is acknowledging there is a problem. That's a good way to start than the APC gaslighting the entire country. Now take the blame where it belongs to. Well, in similar light, a former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, has accused international communities and agencies of being responsible for the continued mass abduction of pupils and children by terrorists in Nigeria. In a lengthy post on X, he summarily wrote that asking the West for help, either in intelligence gathering, advice, or convert military operations when it comes to the fight against the terrorists and insurgents in Nigeria is like asking the big bad wolf to save Little Red Riding Hood. And then he continued, he says it cannot work because ultimately they are the hidden hand behind our numerous travails and they are the enemies. Finally, he says none of these things happen by chance, and what we are witnessing is a deep-seated and long-term conspiracy to literally end our nation as we know it and throw us into a state of fear, poverty, anomie, anarchy, fratricidal butchery, and carnage. Worst of all is the fact that our so-called best friends and allies in the West and the international community are the ones behind it. So this was Femi Kayode. Yesterday on X, Olaniyi says these insights are commendable. However, charity begins at home. Our leadership should lead by example, and this can be demonstrated by the way they relate with those they are leading. He continues to say that this has been the case in Nigeria. We need leaderships that can change the narrative. More thought from this user says, look at Nigerian youth, the future of Nigeria. The only field we seem to be amassing big influence like music and movies, we still long for Grammy and Oscars validation. What's it concern Nigerian artists with Grammy and Oscars when we can do better with our own Afrima and Headies? This has also been a debate in the entertainment space, but that's not our focus today. King says, yes, that's true. But can African leaders stop embezzlement? When you wrecked your own country, then you become prey for others. If only Nigerian leaders can stop embezzlement, then we can have voice over our own country because we won't be begging anymore.